It exists in the deepest part of human memory, a story whispered on the currents of time, a sense of a greatness we once had and lost. The memory is called Atlantis. In our collective mind, it is a place of impossible perfection. The central island housed a colossal temple to Poseidon, sheathed in the gleaming metal orichalcum, shining like fire. But this perfection was a fragile thing. Their wisdom gave way to avarice, their ambition to hubris. They sought to conquer the world. And the gods, who had given them so much, could not let it stand. The earth shook with their fury. The seas rose to reclaim what was theirs. In a single dreadful day and night, the island of Atlantis disappeared into the depths of the sea. This is the memory. Perfect, tragic, complete. But a memory is not the same as a history. A perfect story is often a clue that we are not being told the whole truth. To find that truth, we must shatter the memory and go to its single, solitary source. Not to a lost island, but to a lost conversation. Every word ever written about Atlantis can be traced back to one man. He presents it as true history, passed down through generations, a story for the ages. He gives specific, tantalizing clues, a map for a ghost. First, the location. An island situated in front of the straits, called the Pillars of Heracles. Second, the design, a city of concentric rings of land and water. Third, the fate, a cataclysm of violent earthquakes and floods. For 2,000 years, we have tried to follow this map. The search begins. Could it be the volcanic island of Thera? An advanced civilization destroyed in a cataclysm. A compelling echo, but in the wrong location, with the wrong timeline. The clue doesn't fit. We must follow the map more closely. Outside the pillars, here we find the Tartessian culture, a wealthy Bronze Age society, rich in metals. A civilization in the right place, with the right timeline, also destroyed by a massive tsunami. This is the strongest physical candidate, the closest the map has ever led us. But it lacks the concentric rings, the sheer scale. It is a piece of the puzzle, not the whole picture. And so the search explodes. The idea of Atlantis becomes a magnet for theories. Some look for it under the waves of the Bahamas. Others beneath the ice of Antarctica. We have followed the map across the entire globe, sifting through rock and ruin. We have searched the world for a place, and in all this searching, we have missed the point entirely. We have asked, where was Atlantis? The right question was, what was Atlantis? Remember, Plato was a political philosopher, writing after Athens had lost a devastating war. He saw his own city becoming greedy, imperial, and arrogant. Atlantis wasn't a historical enemy. It was a dark mirror held up to Athens itself. It was a thought experiment, a cautionary tale. What happens to a state with every material advantage, wealth, power, technology, but no virtue? It rots from within. It becomes a slave to its own appetites. The earthquake and the flood are not just a historical event. They are a metaphor for self-destruction. Plato used elements of real events, the Thera eruption, the memory of Tartessos, to build a more powerful lie. A noble lie, as he called it. A myth
crafted to teach a nation a vital truth about itself.
He warned that when appetite and ambition are left unchecked, they will inevitably consume reason and virtue. This is not a singular event, but a cycle of history, repeated by every empire that reaches for greatness without wisdom.
Hubris leads to overreach. Overreach leads to ruin. The pattern is inescapable. It is a warning that our own creations, if not tempered by respect for the natural order, will be reclaimed. The allegory was never about a lost city. It was a mirror, and the reflection it shows is our own.
For centuries, Plato's story was understood as a fable. But then, in the 19th century, the allegory was forgotten and the hunt for a real place was reborn. It began with one man, Ignatius Donnelly, a politician and amateur scientist. In his book, Atlantis, the Antediluvian World, he ignored the allegory and took Plato's words as literal geographic fact. He argued Atlantis was the real, historical mother of all civilizations. His book was a global sensation. The modern myth of Atlantis was born. The idea was then co-opted by mystics and spiritualists seeking a deeper meaning. Atlantis became a spiritual homeland, a source of lost wisdom and supernatural abilities. From there, the legend exploded into our popular imagination. Starting with the depths of literature, it was reimagined as a place of high adventure and lost technology, becoming a breathtaking world for us to explore ourselves. A destination for science fiction heroes, and the kingdom of our modern comic book gods. Inevitably, it became a cornerstone of modern conspiracy. But through it all, the story is passed on, as potent and magical as ever. And so, the story comes full circle, a philosopher's warning, reborn as a treasure hunt, then a spiritual fantasy, and finally, our favorite modern myth. The search for a physical place, for a literal truth, has created a story far stranger and more complex than the original. But what if the truth was never in the ground? What if the truth is the water? The story of Atlantis is a vessel. It holds our hopes for a lost paradise, our fears of self-destruction, our desire for adventure, and our search for meaning in a chaotic world. Atlantis is not a memory of a place we lost. It is a mirror reflecting who we are and who we fear we might become. Its geography is not on any map. Its location is the human soul. We search for Atlantis on the ocean floor, but its true purpose has always been to make us look within. We search for Atlantis on the ocean, but its true purpose has always been to make us look within. The lost city was never lost. It is a story, and a story is a living thing, waiting to be found again and again.